Oh, as drama goes, I saw that Sophie from Mars, that woke scold tanky, got implicated in some pretty serious abuse accusations, forcing drugs on people, sexual assault, putting out cigarettes on people. That seemed less than good. I've checked my sources and come to the conclusion that's probably not good. Once again, reaffirming that the only moral center of the universe is that people I don't like are objectively bad people. Yeah, and then she put out a really bad apology where she was like, I've been informed of my behavior and I'm realizing that it was bad. You know, like like that kind of shit. Like just very standard. She's not a tank. Is she not a tanky? Okay, woke school, something. It's like the DJ Mule, whatever. Piece of shit. Yeah, her response was really bad. You like us? No, I hate you guys. The DJ Mule vid? Yeah, DJ Mule really likes abuse apology, huh? Like intentionally or otherwise. Who would have thought the woman who lied about Zan having a sex cult and when confronted she said, I don't care, I don't like him, was manipulative and selfish? Yeah, you know, it's just a perfect reaffirmation of the whole, like, good politics doesn't mean good people thing, except she didn't even really have good politics, to be honest. But yeah, many such cases. Oh, holy shit, you weren't kidding, this is awful. Oh yeah, I can't check that. She has me blocked. But yeah, no, it's pretty goddamn bad. Vosh, Alice Caldwell Kelly also has me blocked, Selenium. Oh yeah, Alice Caldwell Kelly has never liked me. She was one of the victims of Sophie from Mars, which is, you know, deeply unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. If the goal of saying all of this was to, like, implicate Sophie and get other people away from her, then hopefully it works. Well, thanks, no less. Alice is mad at you about how you're talking about it. I hadn't even talked about it apart from saying something like, well, it's always the people you least expect. This seems like a problem caused entirely by the fact that Alice Caldwell Kelly doesn't like me, which is not my problem or fault. It has nothing to do with me. So it's, you know, not really relevant to my behavior. Whatever the case may be, obviously, it's not really meaningful. What's your issue with you? I don't know. What's anyone's issue with me? Yeah, seriously, Jamie. Why is it that everyone you don't like turns out to be insane sex offenders? I don't know, man. Maybe I've got a really really good judge of character going on right now. After listening to a handful of Well, There's Your Problem episodes, I can conclude they're not the Vosh liking type. Yeah. No, but it's still a good podcast. I was listening to it earlier. Ah, he's all wet. He was in the bathtub. You're soaked. Ah. Aren't they the podcast that made fun of you randomly? No. That was another one that Alice was on. That was Kill James Bond. The beef is very strange. Zan implicating you, and I don't care. I don't care. Everyone's always trying to drama. Fight. You know? Everyone fight. Always fight. Do your cats just not like cat fountains? They're stupid. Artemy likes cat fountains, just they like the faucet. Artemy. Why are you so wet? Gross boy. Stinky boy. Alice said she didn't want people saying, I never liked her, I always knew she'd be like this in the original thread, exposing Sophie, it's not specific to you. Oh, well, that's, kind of dumb. If you're going to make public accusations against a public figure, an obvious consequence of that is people going to sort of commiserate if they don't like that person either. That's how it works. There's no getting out of that. It's an inevitable and unavoidable consequence of that behavior. It's, in fact, the entire point, I think. Might want to learn from our patterns a little bit, you know? Yeah, it's not great. MKSSW or however the f you say your name. You know, the issue that I've had with the online left with regards to stuff like, I don't know, the woke scoldy stuff, it's really gone down lately. I feel like the relative prominence of that behavior has decreased, but it could just be my perception. I never liked her anyway, and she accused a friend of running a sex cult, or not the same thing. I just think that we should, I don't know, hold ourselves to some kind of standard of identifying abusive behavior from the get-go. And, like, Sophie from Mars was always a piece of shit. That's not, like, secret information. If you want to, like, learn anything from that, if there's a lesson to be had from there, maybe we should make an effort to identify, I don't know, public red flags of stuff like that, you know? Like, if a person ends up in an abusive relationship and then it turns out you find out that that was abusive, and then it's like, okay, well, did it occur to you, or, you know, can we identify bad behaviors they engaged in prior to being directly abusive that might have indicated something wrong? I feel like there's some value in that. At least generally, especially with public figures. Yeah, K Comrade Robin Hood, I saw the thread. How high is your disagreement with the Professor Flowers types? I agree they're insane, but like half the online left rarely disagree with you on economic or unrelated issues. No, I think the real issue is that there are a lot of people who claim to be on the left and seem to have a lot of the same beliefs and principles, but in reality they don't. A good example of this would be, I think, there are a lot of people who claim to be left-leaning pretty like holistically, but when you investigate what they actually care about, they're okay with people like Donald Trump running the country because they're so opposed to voting for a Democrat or allowing a Democrat to win or whatever. They'll lie to themselves and believe that Donald Trump and Joe Biden are about the same level of badness. This view is incompatible with progressivism. You can't be a progressive while believing that. There are a lot of people who claim to care about stuff like queer rights, but also support and defend Russia or China. And it makes you wonder, do they actually care about left-leaning politics, or do they just not like America? You know, they're a campist. Normally being anti-American will get you in left circles. But then what happens when you're asked to defend an alternative to America? Well, if you're an anarchist or a principled person or a progressive, an authentic progressive, you can criticize those countries, or you can just sort of outright denounce them. But if you don't have those principles, it's a lot easier for you to do the whole like campist bullshit of defending that side of things. When it comes to people like Professor Flowers, I don't think Professor Flowers is really progressive. I honestly just don't think she likes white people that much. It's not like crazy common, but there are people like that. It's not like there aren't tons of white people who politics are just, they're racist. You know, it's not like super unique. A lot of the beliefs that she has seem to stem from like a critical inability to examine a fundamental bias. She practically admitted to it while debating me. There's lots of shit like that. Like the Ghazi Kodso or the Black Hammer Group or the new Black Panther Party or anything like that. You know, you'll see lots of examples of people who occasionally kind of tenuously border on progressive rhetoric, but then it turns out they care about some other shit entirely. Frankly, I think it's incredibly egotistical to view all people's political participation on a like one-dimensional line where if they seem to agree with you on some stuff, that must mean they're like, you know, on your side. It's like how Dave Chappelle seemed for a while to be pretty progressive because he would mostly talk about black issues from a black perspective. But then when he talks about, like, say, trans issues, all of a sudden he's just openly agreeing with the far right, you know? It's like, whoa, was he a progressive, or did he just like defending black people because he's black? And it's like, you have to be critical about why people believe the things they believe. It's easy to come across as a progressive, you know, on the simple issues. Even Nazis will argue that our healthcare system is like there's a lot of you have to critically examine it, you know? The classic Hitler liked animal rights. Yeah. Dave Chappelle's what happens when somebody has zero intersectional analysis. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why intersectionality is so important. Crazy important. Yeah. Speaking of that specific thing, Sean is back on the literal only time I am made aware of tweets from Sean is when he says that don't vote and also Biden and Trump are equally bad. It's not surprising. He's going to keep saying this. Do Nazis really criticize America's healthcare? Yeah, they think it's run by an elite cabal of money-grubbing assholes who hate the dominant population group of the United States. You're never going to guess who they blame for that one. You always got to critically examine this shit, you know?